Can you believe it? Amazon is going to have a new CEO. How's it going, everybody? This is Dave LeClaire with MUO Tech Bites. It is time to take a bite out of the news. So why don't we jump right in and look at the biggest tech news that happened over the last couple days. So put your feet up, kick back, relax, and let's get it on. So in our first story of the day, Google has stopped making games for Stadia. Now this might not sound like that big of a deal, but I think it might be the first sign that Stadia is on its way out. This would be like Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo saying that they're not going to make games for their own video game platforms anymore. I mean, could you imagine a world where Nintendo is like, we're done with Mario and Zelda, we're just going to leave it to third-party developers. First-party games are very important as they tend to be the exclusives that set the console apart from the others. And with Stadia, it's not going to happen anymore. The studio was called Stadia Gaming and Entertainment, and it is going to take its place in the Google graveyard along with all the other stuff that Google has bailed on over the years. Interestingly, Phil Harrison, who's in charge of Stadia Gaming, actually spoke about why they decided to close down the studio, and it's kind of shocking. Here's what he said. Creating best-in-class games from the ground up takes many years and significant investment, and the cost is going up exponentially. The way that he worded that kind of makes it sound like Google didn't know that it was going to be expensive to start a gaming studio from scratch, which to me seems like something that maybe they should have researched before they got started. We still expect Stadia to keep going for some time, but this does kind of feel like Google saying, we don't even have the confidence in our own platform to make games for it, and it's going to be hard for them to sell that to third-party developers and say, hey, you want to come make games for Stadia, right? And they're going to be like, you don't even want to make games for Stadia, why should we? Of course, this may not be that big of a deal as there hasn't actually been any games released by Stadia's development team yet, so it's not like we have all these games that we've been enjoying for the past few months and now all of a sudden they're gone. There hasn't been any games yet anyway, so really you can't miss what you never had, right? So in a quick story of the day that's got me super excited, apparently iOS 14.5 will allow you to unlock your iPhone while you're wearing a mask using Face ID, which is one of the things that has been missing since we've had to start wearing masks out in public, is that you can't unlock your phone, so you have to use your PIN code. The whole point of Face ID is so you don't have to enter your PIN code, but the phone will not let you use your eyes. It needs to see your nose and mouth, and obviously those are covered if you're wearing your mask properly. So the big caveat is that you need to have an Apple Watch in order to do it. You cannot use this feature if you don't have an Apple Watch. Because basically what it's doing is it's doing the same thing that it would do if you were to use your Apple Watch to unlock your MacBook. It's basically serving as a secondary authentication form since it can't see your full face. Unfortunately, you can't use this new unlock feature for Apple Pay transactions or to buy anything on the App Store. Now for me, that's the kind of the deal breaker, is because the main reason I want to be able to unlock with a mask on is so when I'm trying to use Apple Pay at a store, I don't have to enter my PIN code. I can scan my face and then have it quickly make the payment and move on. But if it doesn't allow you to do that, that kind of makes the feature slightly less useful. It's still cool, it'll still be nice to be able to unlock the phone with a mask on, but hopefully down the road they can figure out a way to make it so you can use Apple Pay. I'm assuming there's some type of security issue that they see that they want to make sure that if somebody were to steal your Apple Watch, they couldn't get to your Apple Pay. So I get it, I understand why they do it that way. I just wish that they could figure out some way to make it secure enough so that I can unlock my phone with my face and pay for stuff. A story we've talked about a few times here at Tech Bites is the Apple Car. I mean, let's be honest, it's hard not to be excited when a company like Apple decides they're going to get into the car making business. Just look at how excited people got over Tesla and all the gadgets and technology that brings to the table. Now imagine that ramped up with Apple. Well, there's some new news in the Apple Car front, as apparently Apple is going to be teaming up with Kia to work on the car. According to a new report, Kia may be turning out 100,000 Apple cars a year. Now, will they be the Kia Apple Car, the Apple Kia car, just the Apple Car? We're not sure. We do know they will be electric cars when the deal eventually goes through. And in fact, the deal could be signed as soon as February 17th, so we will not have to wait very long to find out if this is real. According to the report, Apple will be spending $3.6 billion in this partnership with Kia in order to bring these Apple cars to the market. Now that's a lot of money, but obviously if the car takes off and is popular, Apple could stand to make a lot more than that, selling cars to people like me who will be there on day one buying one of these cars. Now obviously Apple needs to team up with a car company to bring this thing to market. I mean, it's not going to go out and make its own car factories and ramp up production that's required to bring a 100,000 cars to market every year. I just wouldn't have necessarily expected it to be Kia as the company that Apple turned to, Apple generally has that reputation of being sort of a luxury brand, so I would have thought they might have turned to a company like BMW or Mercedes, another luxury car brand, to bring the cars to market. But maybe Apple figures teaming up with Kia allows them to make the cars for less money, maybe they can sell them for a little less money, and then get the car into the hands of more people. As time goes on, we only expect these Apple car rumors to keep on going because more and more companies are going to try to negotiate with Apple. There's going to be more and more rumors about the car. We're just going to keep hearing more and more stuff. Now, will all of it be true? We're not sure. Will Apple end up teaming up with Kia or will it choose another company? It's hard to say, but this comes from a very reliable source, so chances are this Kia deal is probably going to happen, but we'll have to just wait a little bit longer to see. As I said, the deal could be signed as soon as February 17th, so we should know all the details, or at least whatever details they make public, very soon. And then our final story of the day, and this is one that kind of came out of nowhere. The CEO of Amazon is stepping down as the CEO of Amazon. Andy Jassy will be taking over for Jeff Bezos as the CEO of Amazon, though Jeff Bezos will not be fading into obscurity as he will still have a pretty important role in Amazon going forward. Starting the third quarter, Bezos will transition to the role of executive chair, leaving Andy Jassy in charge of all the day-to-day CEO operations, while Bezos goes and swims in his pool of money or does whatever he wants to do. There was a memo sent to Amazon employees where he talked about what his plans are going forward and why he is stepping down as the CEO, and it basically sounds like he wants more time to focus on other things such as the Day One Fund, the Bezos Earth Fund, Blue Origin, the Washington Post, and my other passions. At this point, it's not clear whether this will change Amazon's day-to-day business operations or if the company will continue to function as it always has. We would assume that with him still being in the executive chair role, he'll still have some say in how the company does things, so we wouldn't expect any major changes to Amazon going forward. But you never know. When there's a change of leadership, sometimes there are some major changes to go along with it. We'll have to wait and see. But obviously, we all have different priorities. He has plenty of money personally. He's currently sitting at number 1 on the Forbes richest people in the world list, and that may change if he's not the CEO of Amazon. He may not be making quite as much money. Maybe Elon Musk will pass him. We'll have to wait and see what happens there if you actually care about who the richest person in the world is. Personally, I like to keep an eye on it. I just find it interesting to see how the battle rages on between who's number 1 and who's number 2, because it's pretty much a two-horse race between the two of them right now. Jassy has been with Amazon since 1997, so it's not like he's some new guy taking over the company. He's been in charge of Amazon's cloud business for quite some time, and he has a lot of experience being a high-level executive, so he seems like a good choice to take over the company. Obviously, again, we'll have to wait and see how things play out as time goes on, but it looks like Amazon is going to be in good hands. So now I want to know, what do you guys think? Do you think Amazon will change at all, or do you think Amazon will remain the same Amazon we know and love or hate, depending on your relationship with Amazon? Why don't you jump down in the comments section, sound off, let us know. And if Amazon does go through some pretty big changes, what kind of changes would it take to make you stop shopping at Amazon if you're currently a customer there? All right, ladies and gentlemen, this episode of MUO Tech Bites is officially over. Anything I say after this point cannot be held against me in the court of public opinion, because it's all nonsense of me trying to get you to subscribe to make use of. Like this video, turn on the notification bell, share it on social medias like the Bookface and the Facebooks and Twitzers and the Pinteresters and the Instagrammers. And I don't know, like, can you share this on TikTok? Share it on TikTok too. Why not?